And good evening. I hope everybody had an enjoyable long weekend for all those that are in the US, at least. If you're not in the US, I hope you had a long weekend anyway. I mean, long weekends are awesome.
Call off. Live a little, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Though I'll probably say that most people's relationship with work is probably a tad bit healthier than the United States. Anyway.
Well, you're saying the United States doesn't... Anywho.
I was gonna say, let's
I rode horses for the first time over the weekend. That was
Nice.
fun.
Ooh.
My father-in-law ranches some horses on his land, so that's where we were. And the horse, they were mostly just walking, but one of them started trotting when I was on it, and like a trot alone, like they told me he has a bad trot, but his trot was rough.
Especially if you're a guy and you don't know how to post in the saddle, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I can't imagine galloping.
Ow.
Yeah, you're literally like, ow.
What was the horse's name?
Skipper.
The
horses were named
instead of trotted?
Skipper, Dixie, and Lady were the 3 horses.
I've been horseback riding a few times, but in high school, a friend of mine, her family owned horses. And I went with her one day and we were just riding them. And then at one point she's like, okay, I'm done with this saddle. And she rode bareback the rest of the day. I'm like, yeah, not doing that. But I appreciate the level of effort that you have to do for that.
I saw somebody do that once and I was like, holy shit.
She just had to one-up you.
I suck alone in the saddle, and I was like, all right, I'm going bareback, like literally like the same thing your friend did, and I was like, okay, all right, nope.
But apparently the hair, like at the, I forget what it's called. It's a boss in Minecraft at the withers. They can't feel that if you pull on it, so.
Yeah, I think I heard that somewhere.
By the horse experts that were in the family.
Yeah, I heard a similar thing once, and it was false.
Get out of here, Kevin. Can I redeem?
Good night, everybody.
Can I redeem disadvantage for Kevin for that joke?
Damn.
He doesn't need it after his stuff from last time.
To be fair, Matt, I already had fucking disadvantage. Well, I didn't have disadvantage, but I already got fucked.
No.
So.
Like, I had to call those goblins daddy. Anywho.
So,
it's that kind of stream, huh?
Yeah, buddy.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We are going to be continuing our Darkening of Mirkwood campaign, which took a slight turn last week, mostly in the fact that I was completely unprepared for whatever the hell they did. But here's a recap of that. In the 4th day of the Council of the North in Laketown, the Fellowship pretty much decided that we don't need to be a part of the 4th day discussions. There's really nothing going on here. So they took the day for themselves and all went out and did their own little thing. Some gathered rumors of the earth, some just took leisure and kept a wary eye out for the goings-ons in Laketown. But Vidar took it upon himself to be a little bit proactive in his business ventures. He hired an underling, a contractor, if you will, to stay posted at the front gate and run to him in the event that a certain Mogdrid left town. In that same period of time, after he was about town, he came back and there was a runner, as promised, from Mogdrid to find him. And this messenger delivered the message that Mogdrid had rescinded his offer to help restore the old forest road. With Vidar, none too happy about this, quickly sought out about town to try and see if he could get ahead of the situation. Unsuccessful, by the time he returned to the tavern, the other runner that he had hired had shown up and informed him that Mogdrid had left. Scrambling by early evening, Vidar whipped his fellowship into a fury? I guess that's appropriate for him.
Yeah.
Whipped them up into a fury.
Vidar really took command.
Got them to pursue. Vidar bought a horse and with Thea and Winfola essentially leading the charge, the Fellowship left Esgaroth, heading south with Volley tracking Moldred's company, and went along the river running. By early evening, or now late evening, they came across silhouettes, figures in the distance, that they weren't entirely sure if they were going to be Moldred or something else. So they held off and decided to approach quietly to the best of their ability. They hitched the horses to a tree and sent out Volley in all of his stealthy wisdom to approach. Unfortunately, his approach was not as quiet as he had hoped, and
Poor
soon
guy.
became a pincushion, with several goblin arrows coming wave after wave. The ambush ensued. Volley fell back as his two companions eventually caught up, some 200 feet away, and a melee ensued, and eventually the orcs and goblins were slain, all but one, the supposed great orc. They knocked him out, bound him, and began taking him back to Lake Town, seeming to believe that they were in no condition to pursue any further. So, depending on what side you're on, or how you view stuff so far, Moldred had escaped. The Fellowship returned nearing midnight of Lake Town and brought a breathing, bound orc to the front gate. Through some brief discussions, the situation did not escalate, but the guards said that they could bring the orc's head in as proof as what happened, but they will not allow the orc inside. Vidar took him across the bridge, questioned the orc, trying to gather whether or not the orcs were working for Moldred or if there was something else going on. Gained little information, nothing that he immediately wanted, but did discover that these orcs were at least from the mountains of Mirkwood, and that the supposed attack or general concept of the lands burning were coming. Nothing more specific beyond that. After breaking several legs, fingers, arms, Vidar severed the orc's head, and the Fellowship proceeded inside. Volley and the rest limped to the inn after a brief stay at the guardhouse to get bandaged.
I'm sorry, the rest?
You limped, but the rest came with you.
Okay, I was gonna say.
That's why I said Volley and the others, but English is weird. Bear with me. But that is where we are going to pick up today. As it is now the 5th day of the council. The rest of you got in late last night, after a grueling fight, and now one of you at least has an orc head in their inventory. The morning is young, as the sun has just crested over in the east, and the market is bustling.
I just want to point out one thing before we get started. Kevin's camera makes it look like he's ascending to heaven.
Let's be real, that's not where I'm going.
I'm just saying, you got that bright, otherworldly light in the one corner.
I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot just sitting here.
Anyway,
I exchanged Christmas cards with Satan. Go on.
Vido's gonna be in the general room of the tavern.
Okay.
I guess, is everyone here? And by everyone, I mean, I'm looking for the party as well as Nayla and Seowin.
The rest of your party can be down there if they'd like. Nayla and Seowin are down there, and there is one other person in the tavern this morning.
Who's that other person? No.
If it's
Moldred, gotcha! Yeah!
If it's
Roll initiative.
like earlier in the morning than normal and the market is already bustling, Thea would first like to take some time to see if she could hear any specific rumors in the market before reconvening with everybody.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm going to just walk on up to Nayla and Seowyn.
Thea, go ahead and give me that investigation check.
Okay.
Yeah, you waltz on over to their table, who are just sort of like sitting there talking to one another as you approach.
So the rumors I am trying to essentially listen for. I'm wanting to listen for any news on the person who I heard about the day prior. What's his name? Drusden, sorry. To see if he has essentially like stopped here or something on his travels eastward toward this direction.
Okay. 28. Jeez. Okay. You peruse about the markets, you ask around, and you do find overhear one person talking to another. Did you hear? Foreigner rode in earlier this morning. Dressed in fine cloths, finer than I've seen most nobles around here wear. I came in on a white horse.
Did they happen to say where he said he was heading or staying?
I did not. They didn't catch that. This person is purely speaking as who they saw.
Okay.
Yeah, Vidar, you waltz on over to Nayla and Seowyn.
And I will unceremoniously just drop the sack that has the orc head on the table. Sack's closed. I'm not opening it.
Just plops on the table. Seowyn looks at it. What's that? And Nayla sort of just looks down at it, looks back at you.
That.
There's some moisture in that when it hit the ground.
That is the head of an orc we caught outside town last night.
Outside town? How far?
Only about an hour away. Lied in wait for travelers.
And why do you still have it?
I want to bring it up in the meeting, the last meeting today. They're much closer than anticipated. I interrogated this orc, and they have they have some sort of fortress in the mountains of Mirkwood, some sort of encampment.
Fortress.
Some sort of encampment there. That's where this one and his party came from.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities, considering the state of Mirkwood these days.
It's a little close for comfort, I think. I think it should be addressed.
That'll be up to them to decide, but you're, I guess, more than welcome to do it.
I'm gonna be dramatic about it, just so you both know.
Nayla just sort of shrugs and goes, not surprised. Well, at least it's dead.
Yes, it died slowly. Actually, it died pretty quickly, but it was in a lot of pain.
What were you doing outside of town last night?
Following a lead.
Hmm.
Personal business.
Very well. I make a point to know about as little of your business as possible.
Probably safest for you.
Sure.
Well, so when's the meeting? What's it about today? Besides what I'm gonna drop on everyone's heads.
Not entirely sure. I think it's just tying up whatever might be open-ended from the week. And then most of the envoys or the individuals will probably be leaving late afternoon today, so I don't expect it to last long.
Very well. I'll just follow you there then.
All right. Where's the rest of you?
I look around. Where's the rest of us?
Is that for DM to fill in or us to talk? Sorry.
I don't know where you are.
Okay, I just want to make sure like DM wasn't gonna be like, oh,
Do any of us know where we are?
what is Middle Earth, man? Volley's still gonna be like at the wherever you guys dropped him off for a long rest. He's sleeping this off like a bad hangover.
You're upstairs. You're just still conked out.
I'll probably say Volley. The orcs nearly killed Volley last night, Serwin, but we saved him. He's sleeping it off probably still.
Salvos could be around with Vidar. They're good friends.
Please don't get my guard captain killed.
Hey.
I kind of need him.
No one I have traveled with has died. Vidar has to think for a second.
Yet.
I have a spotless record.
Yet.
Salvos, I don't need you adding that word. That is obviously implied and makes it sound more ominous.
He doesn't sound too confident in traveling with you.
I mean, I've only had a few near-death experiences, so it's only...
Salvos and I liberated a whole dwarven kingdom together.
Yeah, but the troll almost killed me.
But it didn't. And that's the point.
I had a broken arm after that fight.
Matt's like the walking meme, but did he die?
But did you die? You slapped me awake.
But did you die?
I'm gonna say my life definitely flashed before my eyes.
Oh my gosh, Salvos, I thought I had a penchant for dramatic.
Okay, I think we get the point. Maybe try to keep my captain out of harm's way.
That is
matters?
impossible. He signed the waiver. He didn't sign a waiver, but
I was like, what the fuck did I sign?
he assumes responsibility by agreeing to go with us on adventures.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying that if he's going to be running down leads for your personal businesses.
True. That was perhaps stepping over a line, but I didn't make him.
I want to say you
didn't talk
faintly
bad
hear
about it.
upstairs, but not like officially. You just hear "fuck you."
Polly, the adults are talking, please.
Sorry,
That's the
Dad.
first time anyone's called me an adult. No.
Say when there's some bullshit.
Very well, it's neither here nor there. You've all returned safely, so
Yes.
that is all I can...
Salvos is
Think
here
for
with
your
me.
fucking self.
I don't know where he was last night. I couldn't find him, so he didn't come with us. And I think Thea is out on the town. She's been doing that lately.
Yes, she does that.
It's not even the fun out on the town.
She has an interest in the people and the society that is here.
Yeah. At least one
Reminds
of us
me a bit
does.
of Armand the first few times we met him.
I wonder what he's up to now.
He left the council early yesterday.
Seems like a few people left yesterday. Borgard also left.
Well, he was not part of the formal closed session, so he had no reason to stick around. Though, I do like to know where he's at all times.
Wherever he is, he went south.
Well,
That's a big direction, though, so I'm sure he'll poke his head up again sometime.
most likely.
Like a bad
Well-
gopher.
Let's track down Thea and at least start heading towards the council. Does somebody want to grab Volley?
I'll do it. I'm gonna
Don't
march
hurt him.
upstairs.
He's a delicate flower.
Please, no.
Volley,
Please, no.
Volley, is your
He's
door
a
locked?
precious bean, Vidar. Don't hurt him.
Is your door locked, Volley?
Poor Volley.
Vidar's gonna start by knocking on your door politely. And he's gonna say, Volley, get up. Thea will request your presence.
Housekeeping.
I will give you 5 seconds to get up. 5. Oh, I'm coming in there. 4. 3.
Hold on. So before he finishes the countdown, right at 1, I'm gonna open the door.
2. 1. And
I swing the door open.
I had my foot ready that as soon as I said 1, I was gonna kick the door in.
So what? You fall forward?
Yeah. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Do I fall forward or do I fall forward? I was gonna say, do I fall forward or do I kick Volley?
You fling the door open right as the foot is coming. He just completely misses, and he has to catch himself to stop himself from doing a split. But doesn't get it too much. It was like, strong face. I'm a dwarf, strong face.
What the fuck you doing waking me up, dwarf?
I told you, Saywin wants ya. Now are you gonna go to him or do I gotta carry ya?
Touch me, I snap your arm, and I'm just gonna walk past him.
As he walks past, I just give him a little touch on his hand. That's about the height of if I just gently raise my hand.
Just walk by and you just feel a gentle touch, like, love you.
And I'll fall in line behind him.
Thea, unless you have any other business, you probably came back around.
Oh,
this
so
point.
we had a proper long rest, didn't we?
Yeah, you're in a safe spot. Everyone rested.
If I didn't hear anything new, I would have spent whatever rest of the free time I had until needing to reconvene to try to look for someone by that description. But if I don't, then I would have then returned in like kind of a small sigh.
Yeah, no, you couldn't find anyone by the description.
Okay.
Not out in the immediate vicinity. Which is right. Very well. So,
Cool. So I'll walk in and I'll look at everyone and go, oh, everyone's up. Good.
Yeah,
Yep.
Volley needed a
Great.
little encouragement. I don't think he likes us very much there.
Volley, how are you? Are you faring better?
Like a pincushion, Lord Saowen.
Lolly. Well,
You're gonna have some really cool scars, Volley.
Harry do.
You're gonna have more cool scars.
Vidar, I think you are correct, so you should probably stop poking the bear.
if you're gonna poke a bear, go find Bjorn. Now.
Bjorn might actually hurt me.
There's only one way to try. We'll find out, at least. Now, it's the last day, so there's probably not much to it, so we're just going to trek on over, and I'm saying this like it's a goddamn kindergarten teacher for some reason.
Everybody hold hands.
Yes, single file line, boy, girl, boy, girl.
Look both ways.
And we'll just see what's is being wrapped up today. We've discussed pretty much everything that concerns Sunstead and the Woodman, so there's really not much left for us, so we're just going to see what the final verdicts are, I suppose. And of course, the dwarf here has something to bring up. So let's
Yeah.
make our way over. So, all of you head on out into the cool lake breeze that is this morning and make your way back to the town hall square. The streets are a bit less populated than they have been all week. It's like a con. Like the last day, like everyone left the night before. They got to get back home. No one stays for the last day. So it's about mostly locals at this point. Still some merchants, but you do make your way back over there, and you head up into the town hall and make your way upstairs into the private quarters where the private sessions have been taking place around a long table, and inside you see King Bard and his wife, the master of Lake Town. Bjorn is still present. Armand is not here. He has left. The Elven King's emissaries are present as well, as they are all sitting, but you do see a new individual sitting atop the table, or sitting atop the table. That's weird. Don't do that. That is weird. Sitting at the table with their backs towards you as you walk in, and all you can make out is some long black hair and a dirtied brown cloak that seems to be nothing too extravagant. Bard notices you all. It appears the rest of our council has arrived. Please, everyone, take a seat. We have an unexpected guest this morning. And as you all filter in and find
I'll do a bow to King Bard. Find my seat.
He nods in return. Now that we're all situated, you guys all see the person sitting across the table from you now. Slicked back black hair, sort of pulled back into a long ponytail. Bit of a beard on his chin. And beneath the cloak, as it's over his shoulders, and you see beneath the cloak, you see sort of like deep maroons and golds and some greens in the clothing. And actually resting against the table, you see a spear with a bronze head. The face itself, you could sort of make out to be in their 30s, early 30s. And their skin is a bit tanner. Vidar, you recognize this person. Many years ago, and by many, maybe like a handful, maybe 5 to 10 years ago, you met this person when they were in their early 20s, when they visited the Great Elf shortly after its liberation. They came as an emissary of somebody to take something back for research.
Oh, it's you! I, of course, remember your name.
If you would mind introducing yourself. My name is Drustan.
Son of a...
Drustan. I don't think I wrote that down, or I might not have been given that.
You weren't. That is not on you. You were not given that name. I am an emissary of Saruman the White of Isengard.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember you. You came for that black powder.
Yes, I did. And my master Saruman has been studying it for many years now. You notice the accent itself is very different than any of you that really have come across, except for Thea. You recognize it as Dunland, one of the neighbors to Isengard and Rohan. Well, Justin, and what business do you have arriving here? Message from Saruman? My master wishes to inform everyone that some things have caught his attention recently. And as a result, he is going to be studying over the next few years Southern Mirkwood. The goings-ons of Dol Guldur and the Fenbridge Castle, and even the very nature of the wood itself, has been catching his attention. So, as a general information or invitation, to the esteemed leaders at this table, and those that bear any great interest in knowledge of the enemy, knowledge of the shadow. Saruman the White will be staying in Roscabel for some time with his brother, the Radagast the Brown.
Oh, are they? Ryder's gonna keep his dumb mouth shut.
Those that are interested in such things, such matters, the White Wizard welcomes all with interest and intrigue.
I'm interested, but I also have another thing that I need to bring up in this meeting.
Dramatic pause, because I have a feeling people have things to say.
I was looking at old notes, so I only got half of this. Otherwise, I would respond. All I got was that he's staying at Roscabel.
Drosten, this is quite interesting news. We were wondering if the wizards had receded, if they had lost interest in what happens in Middle-earth. Please, when you return to Isengard or Roscabel, depending on where the White Wizard is, please extend to him an invitation to visit us, that we may discuss some of the matters that have happened over the past few days. As a matter of fact, we would also extend that invitation to Radagast as well. Feeling the three wizards may have some interest in some of the information that has been discussed. I will deliver such message. But it is open invitation. He's going to be there for many years. And of course, if you have need of him, or if you are interested in discovering some mystery, some answers of your own, one of the wisest of the wise shall remain in Roscabel for a time.
He's wiser than the other wizards?
He is.
Well, damn, now we gotta meet him.
So, sorry, they're concerned about things going on in Dol Guldur, right? Is that what I heard?
He said that Saruman is going to be in Roscabel for a few years to observe and essentially research Southern Mirkwood, like the whole region, which includes Dol Guldur.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's very interesting, and I think we should, some of us here should take the opportunity to seek out such a wise individual. But also, this. And I undo the sack and drop the orc head on the table.
There's a few, the master of Lake Town immediately goes, pulls out a handkerchief. Oh, my. What?
I found, when I say I found this, we found a live warband of orcs outside the town last night, lying in ambush for travelers. They're operating out of the mountains of Mirkwood. This danger is a lot more pertinent than I believe it's being treated as.
Ruthiel acknowledges it.
Yeah.
The orcs have been present in the mountains for many years now. We've made efforts to expel them, though some other... She looks towards Orteful and his missing arm. Some other creatures have made it quite difficult, especially in the waning years.
Vidar, now that he's made his point, got everyone's attention, he will just scoop the head back up in the sack and try to clean up the table a little bit. Yes, well, I would think that the denizens of Lake Town should be safe to travel outside the city walls without threat of orcs at the front door. But I am not the one who runs Lake Town. I'm not in charge of any area here. But I figured you all should know at the very least. Are there any plans to deal with the threat?
As the master of Lake Town sort of moves the handkerchief from himself and gathers himself. Well, there's a bit more than orcs that are a current threat among Lake Town. The Fangs of Smog have also been raiding and stealing. We have a threat from within ourselves as well. How close were these orcs?
They were... Vida was thinking about whether or not he should lie in the moment. I can't take too long to think.
I was about to speak, but I saw your gears turning. And I was like, I'm gonna let him say something first.
I'm gonna let him fuck up.
They were...
Oh,
I mean,
no.
I've already told the truth to Nayla and Seowyn, so I'm not gonna lie here. They were about an hour away from your gates, lying in ambush. It's lucky. Well, you're lucky that we stumbled across them and not a group of civilians.
An hour on foot?
I don't think I told him on horseback.
You didn't. That's why I've been keeping my mouth shut.
Yes.
Deception check.
Because I almost said on horseback.
Come on, big money, no whammies. Hey, that's pretty
15.
good. I'm
15.
exaggerating a little bit.
That foot and horse for an hour at gallop makes a
There's a
huge
huge-
It
difference.
is a
Yeah.
huge difference. It makes it seem it's much closer.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what Rhino wants. He wants him to be more concerned about it.
Well, that is certainly concerning. There's orcs that close, then we will double our watch. For sure.
I believe that is a prudent decision. Now, what is this of the Fangs of Smog?
Oh, them again.
They're an underground organization. They have many dealings in the black markets and thievery as well.
Now,
Do they have a new leader then?
I was gonna say, I thought we dismantled. Well, we certainly struck a blow to the Fangs by dispatching one of their leaders.
Bard perks up. Their leaders.
Yes, there was a fellow by the name of
Clovis.
Clovis. He was directing at least a branch of the Fangs of Smaug.
He also went by the name of crap. Clovis was his real name. He went by something else.
Let me check my notes.
Mhm.
Longo.
Yes, Longo.
Whew, memory. High five myself.
That was a few years ago.
Yeah, so it sounds like It sounds like
Yes.
we didn't put him down for good, so perhaps the second time we'll make it stick.
Well, it was also just to assist King Dane on the matter in return to get some assistance from him for liberating the Grey Delph.
Yes.
That's how it all started.
If I have any indication on how an organization such as theirs persists, it is most likely broken up, splintered into several individual groups that operate independently. Clovis may have been the head of a cell, and it may have caused some disruption, some disorganization in the interim. But they've recently, in the past few years, found some new organization. We're not sure what. They've just been behaving a little bit more tactful. Seemingly a new head has taken place.
Well, do you have any leads? Perhaps we can eliminate this head.
We currently do not. The Royal Guard is investigating. But they do operate beyond Dale and Lake Town to our knowledge. If they're anywhere else, we have not heard.
Perhaps, Vidar, I'm gonna whisper to Vidar, perhaps they might be where we learned about them in the past, the underground, fighting arena?
We could check that, yes. That is a lead. We have several tasks before us that we could undertake, but we'll discuss this later.
I forgot to do Justin's handout. Whoops.
Drustin.
Ooh.
You know, in the movies, they make the Dunland people look very, very angry and mean. Drustin looks nice.
There's a reason for that.
Drustin Timberlake.
What? Is this Paul? Paul!
Of course it's Paul. So, is there anything else?
There is rumors with the Fangs that there's another organization that is either part of them or a rival, but they go by the Eyes of Smog.
Wonderful.
We're just getting the whole fucking anatomy out of these guys.
The wings are
I'd
next.
rather not.
Maybe they'll all come together and make a new Smaug. Who knows?
I slayed Smog once. I'd rather not have to do it again.
Yeah. Well, we can take some time and try and. Well, I mean, we're in the area. We can try to dig up information and root out these eyes and fangs of Smaug.
We may.
I want to be that someone in the background when Bard said, like, I did it once, I don't want to do it again. You're someone in the back, fucking legend.
You'd be like one of those guys, like, when I took my bow and lined up that shot. Each
Volley
time
just
it gets more and more exaggerated.
Volley would just sit in front of him like fucking Billy Madison.
I have to ask though, if we do help in local matters such as these, once again, does this happen to change the stance on anything discussed previously, like the idea of investigating Southern Mirkwood a little more, like the task force idea and whatnot? Will enough resources be freed by us doing this to potentially change things that were recently discussed in terms of their what's the word? In their decision or of whether they're worth looking into further or not. Especially now with Dresden's recent news.
Well, if Saruman the White is providing attention to Southern Mirkwood, then I do not see why we need to intervene. And as for the Fangs, while they have found new organization and they have had an uptick in incidents, for the most part, the matter is under control, but most of our guard force is meant for researching, investigating, and arresting. And of course, guard duty.
So you're saying it's not a pressing issue?
It is not currently. Not one that I'm willing to reach for outside help. Be that as it may, if you do something on your own free will, unless it breaks any laws within Dale, feel free to do it. But currently, the situation is being handled internally.
Okay, when if you do lose handle on it internally, we're here. We've dealt with the Fangs before, we can deal with them again.
Duly noted.
I'm curious though. The former leader that we helped acquire, is he... Do you happen to know what his fate was?
Who?
Clovis, Longo.
Oh.
When he was turned in by our hand.
My memory is a bit fuzzy. I was not available that day to hear trial or matters regarding was handled by one of my advisors, Lord Hakon. And if memory serves, Clovis was released.
Oh. Very well then. Well, I appreciate the
Exile,
update.
I believe, was the punishment.
I see.
Well, all's well. That ends well, I guess.
Let us hope so.
Well, is that
Is,
everything for the meeting? Anyone got any other surprises? Any other heads to drop on the table?
Everyone sort of like looks back and forth and looks over to Justin. I don't have anything. Why would I have heads? I do believe this council is adjourned. Thank you all for your attendance and your voices. Know that a kingdom only stands not because of the leader, but for the wise people advising him. And Dane, I do believe, agrees with me. Aye. So thank you all. Now, if you'd be so kind, you're welcome to accompany myself and my guard and my wife down to the market docks, where I will be departing back for Dale. If not, you're welcome to go about your business. Thank you. There's a slow murmur as some people sort of get up and make their way slowly out as they're mingling amongst themselves. Bard and his wife stay there and they're still talking to each other. What would you like to do?
Lord Dane.
Hey.
I haven't been able to have much time to talk with you yet, but I'm curious, what news from the Great Elf?
Limited conversation. They do seem to be sorting themselves out a bit, but they don't take too kindly to emissaries from the Lonely Mountain these days.
Any thoughts on what can be done to improve relations?
I am open to suggestions, but if they're going to be a clan that doesn't want anything to do with us, then I'm inclined to respect it.
Are you talking about cutting them off completely from the Lonely Mountain, from Erebor?
If that is what they wish.
Is there talk of do you expect that to happen anytime soon?
No, not soon. Might
Very
be a
well.
few years, but they are an injured people and their pride is hurt. Though the culprits were dealt with, they're not ready to talk.
I worry
Right.
that the mastermind behind it is still at large.
Mastermind.
I feel like there
It was
has
my
to be.
It was my understanding that it was just some greedy humans, mercenaries.
I feel like there has to be more to it than just that. That's too simple. But
Sometimes the simplest answer is the best one.
you may be right. As my years since I've left the Great Elf, I've turned up nothing. My quest for vengeance has only led me nowhere. Well, I just wanted to check in with you.
Hey. Now, I'll be returning on the boat with Dan. Ereboro's kind of in that direction. So, if you wish to talk more, you can follow me down to the docks. If not, I'll see you the next time you're in the region.
Very well, Lord Dane. Safe travels. I imagine we'll talk again.
Hey. And he heads on out the door. What do we like to do? What are we doing?
I'll walk over to Nayla. So, I suppose we return then.
Yes. Our task here is done.
And the next one?
Pray that there isn't one.
I think life is funny like that sometimes. There's always something to do. When one thing ends, a new thing comes.
Yes. I pray that there will be a day where there isn't something. Something where the mind can rest. And a breath of relief can come. And we can live without casting shadows or doubt between one another, neighbor, friends.
I can certainly sympathize. So, what of the news with Justin here and Sauerman and Radagast? Do we
Well,
look toward them a bit more, since they'll be in Roscobel?
the area is definitely safer with them present. I did tell the council that I would extend the invitation to Radagast, and so I might as well head to Roscobel straight from here. With luck, Saruman's already there. Might as well add a third wizard to my list of met.
You are a bit more popular than you seem, I think.
That's not by choice.
Well, do you require my presence immediately to return to Mountain Hall in Roscobel?
I do not. Saywin and I were going to be seeing the royal couple off. Figured it's good for us to make appearances.
It is. Yeah, good choice.
So if you wish, you can depart as early as you want, and I will see you in Roscobel.
I think that's a good idea. I have a few things to try here to see if I can come up with any more news on some other matters, but otherwise, I will return.
Your assistance has been appreciated here, Thea.
It is my job, Chief. I have to do it at least once a day.
Oh, that's the quota now. Fantastic.
Who knows? Haru could be calling you that too. We just can't quite understand exactly what he says.
Yeah, there are days. No, I won't keep you much longer. So, I'll be departing with Seowyn and the royals.
Very well.
Never thought I'd be rubbing elbows with royals, but here we are.
Drink enough and it will be somewhat enjoyable for you. I promise.
It's my life motto.
Her and Seowyn head out. Dane has left. The elves are sticking around for now, but the king and queen are making their way out with about 5 royal archers with them. What would you guys like to do?
So what's the plan? I mean, there's nothing super pressing. The world, WoW seems a bit darker. There's nothing's on fire for once.
No, but there are warnings of things to come also, it seems, and no one seems to want to act proactively enough. Now that the wizards are being talked about, it seems like it's easier to turn heads from the topic of Southern Mirkwood than it was before.
I think I'll make my way to Roscobel to visit Sauron.
I think I was thinking the same thing.
He's the only one of the wizards I haven't seen, as far as I remember.
Well, not what I.
I don't think I have met Radagast yet. I've heard lots about him, though. I don't think Thea has met Radagast. She's met Gandalf.
No.
Fido's met Gandalf and Radagast.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Vali's just met Radagast.
Yes.
You were saying?
Yeah, because they were part of the Dol Guldur trek.
You were saying something, Salphos?
I was gonna say, well, not what I was originally going to do after this, but I can't let you two get into any trouble without me.
What were you gonna do?
Just follow up on some things up in Dale, but they can wait.
Not have more mercenary work to take care of?
It's a little light on orc killing right now, since the Grey Elf.
The Grey Elf? Oh, the Grey Delve.
Great Elf, yeah.
I was like, Grey Elf? Who's the Grey Elf? But no, I just have bad hearing. Yeah, so I guess we're going to Roscobel then.
Yeah, the fuck I am.
Okay, Valdi, you know what? You can just go, Sarwin.
Vince rolling a new character next
I was
time.
just gonna say. I don't blame him.
He's got another character to bring if he really wants to. He doesn't have to stick as him.
You know what, Vali? If you don't want to go see the wisest wizard of them all, no one's gonna make you.
Not actually. I just want to cross my arms, turn away, and go, fine. Didn't want to go anyway.
But it might be fun just to see the royal dignitaries out of town and gather some supplies and hit the road.
Sounds like Lord Seowyn's not planning to go back anytime soon, so...
I mean, you could talk to him. Maybe you should talk to him and get leave, Vali. Make sure he doesn't need you.
I'll allow it.
You know, I said that in a kind of way that made me seem like an asshole, and I'm sorry for that. I didn't mean to say it like I'm an asshole. I genuinely do think it's a good idea for you to talk to Seowyn to get leave because you are his bodyguard. And it'll be fun to go visit a wizard. Pretty sure the wizard won't shoot arrows at you.
Well, first of all, you're an asshole. Second of all, I'll go ask him. Third of all, if I become a pincushion again, I'll be sure to come back and haunt you. And I'm gonna go talk to Seowyn briefly, real quick. Did I say the same thing twice? Briefly.
Could we? I guess we're all just following Seowyn and Nayla then to the docks to finish off.
Okay.
That's what it sounded like.
What you're doing? Okay. So you guys make your way out, sort of behind the royal archers and the king and queen are out ahead of you. So trailing behind is you and Nayla and Seowyn. They're just sort of moving with the group, and of course the royal couple is garnishing attention. People are going, "Oh my God, it's the king and queen!" Blah blah blah. So there's like a commotion, and it's just sort of like a moving crowd at this point. So yeah, as you guys are moving, Vali, you come up to Seowyn. Well, you're looking healthier than you were this morning.
The sun and air, I guess, will do that.
You ready to return to Sunstead when we are done here?
Yes, when do you think that will be?
We will probably depart shortly after the royals leave. We have no reason to stick around here.
Well, requesting your permission, I'd like to get a chance to meet Saruman the White.
Well, let me ask you this, Vali. The rabble back in Sunstead that you've trained, do you believe they are sufficient guard force?
I think for the time being, I'm not planning to be a lengthy expedition.
They've got an elf blacksmith over there too.
She wasn't responsible for training guards.
Yeah, but she'll be that personality of just like, oh, put me in, coach.
She's got a jersey.
Me, pick me.
Well, Roscabel is part of our society, so I don't see why not. Sure. Go meet Saruman the Wise, the White. White? Wise. He's both.
I think it's White. I'm just gonna look at him. I'm gonna look at him, go, kind of like the kid that got invited, doesn't want to go, but it's kind of being armed towards it. Be like, "Are you sure, Lord Seowyn?" As I'm kind of like looking back and like,
There's something wrong with your eyes.
It's just a little dry.
It's up to you. You can go if you wish.
Not often you get to meet a wizard like this. I will be back shortly. It won't be a lengthy trip, I hope.
Well, let's hope not. And do keep your eye out. We're still looking for a alternative path between the Black Tarn and Sunstead.
Maybe that'd be a question I can ask him. Someone so wise, he may have answers.
Let's hope so, because Radagast has been next to useless. He's just... Emilioda writes me once a month, just tells me he's just standing across the lake, just staring, doing nothing. Really useful.
Sounds right.
At this point, you guys...
I'll try to get better answers for you, my lord.
Please. At this point, you guys have reached sort of like the market docks. And there's like a little soapbox, I guess. As the crowd just sort of gathers around and the archers are positioned all around them, and they're just sort of stoic, just standing there. Another day guarding. And the king and queen stand up as they prepare to embark on their ship. As you can see, it's tassels are sort of strung about the almost like a Viking longship kind of thing. They have the flag of Dale billowing in the wind above it, and there's some crew members and attachés aboard awaiting the two. And Bard raises his hand in farewell and quiets the crowd as they're all just seeing him off. Thank you all for seeing us off. It was a pleasure to be in Lake Town these past few days. I know the Master has been treating you all very well, and we back in Dale think you as one of our own as well. So we'd like to see the relationship between our people continue to prosper, and as an arrow embeds him in the shoulder. Assassin! Assassin! Archer! As the everyone sort of gathers themselves, and all the archers move, and you see in the distance, atop a warehouse, a lone figure standing up there with a bow against his silhouette. As 2 more arrows come in. In the commotion, the royal archers unleash 2 volleys in that direction, but at that point, the archer has fled. What would you like to do?
Tail, go!
I'm going after him.
Let's go.
Well, first I'm gonna look back. I'm gonna look back and yell, "You okay?"
I'm running after the archer. I'm not waiting to check if Bard's okay.
It is a complete commotion. You can't even see right now. The archers have completely moved into position to obscure him. So you would have to move in through the crowd to try and get to the king.
Well, I'm not trying to like look. I'm just trying to just ask. I'm yelling out, "Are you okay?"
There is no response in the commotion. It is just too loud as people are scattering. Women and children are screaming, and people are just running in every direction.
Fuck it. I'm gonna start bolting off where we saw the archer.
Okay,
I'm immediately running to the stables to grab Winflow to start heading out to the city and start perimeter check.
I was gonna say that's on the other side of town.
Ooh, well.
You got.
Run,
you got
bitch!
I'm just dashing 90
you
feet
guys
around.
are here. You guys are here.
Okay.
I feel like we have one of
And
those mall
stables are
maps.
way
You are
up
here.
Where was
Well,
the archer
don't they
roughly?
have to go that way to leave anyways?
Maybe it's a.
Where
They could have a boat. Who knows?
Ugh. Run
the
with
archer
Vidar.
roughly?
The archer is in somewhere in this general direction, but you don't see him right now as he disappeared behind as the second volley was released.
And I scale up to the rooftops and try and run on the rooftops and see.
Give me an athletics check, or
Yay.
acrobatics, your choice. Vidar, you ran in that direction as well.
Yes, I'm not trying to scale the building because I'm short and I can't. I don't know if I can climb well.
Why?
But I'm just going to run past the building and just try to like do a quick lap around the building. Try to just see if I can see where he went.
I'm done playing.
Give me a perception check.
I will I will go opposite of that direction of Vidar to try to cover more ground.
Thea, you also give me a perception check then.
We're all gonna roll terribly, and we're not gonna find where this archer went.
It's gonna
I'll say,
be
can
terrible.
can I roll try and find this guy, or at least
Are you with them now? You darted off with them?
I'm assuming with
So-
them. I just said I just kind of darted off like towards the way of the archer.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a perception check as well, as all of you sort of in the chaos fan out.
Fuck
and
me.
head off
Yeah,
in
we
a
all rolled
direction.
shit.
Thea rolled well.
Thea's got a
Thea.
chance. Salphos makes a run
yes.
for
Nine.
makes a run for the building that appears to be a large old warehouse. You get up about 2 feet as you try to get up, and you've run out of handholds. And from the morning breeze and wind coming off of the lake has made it so slick that you slip and fall back down, losing any ground that you obtained. Vidar, you dart down the alley and look around, and you can't really get an understanding of where he might have gone. Thea, you come around and you look up at where he was on the roof, and you see sort of loose hay and dust up top that heads off back towards the north, essentially, so back in this direction.
Loose hay.
You see something that tells you he's going the other direction.
Shingles, parts of the roof started coming
Oh,
off.
he's going the other direction.
He's heading north.
Okay. How far did I run from everybody to get to that point?
You're probably about, because
Am I-
unless you all stuck together, which it doesn't sound like you did, you sort of scattered. So you're probably about 40-ish feet from the closest person, but that's going around corners and alleyways. So you don't really have clear line of sight on anybody.
Can I try to like run back closer, like 10, 15 feet, and try to get everybody, like including Nayla's attention too, to grab her help and her ruse, and just shout at everyone north?
So you're
Is
gonna
that
double
possible?
back.
But like 10, 15 feet, if that's close enough. and shout north because I want to especially recruit Nayla's help with the bird.
Okay, so you double back and you just sort of shout out into the commotion of everyone just darting about and yelling, trying to get anybody's attention. Just give me a charisma check. Because this has nothing to do with persuasion. It is trying to be heard in the chaos. 19.
I don't know why it says 4 plus 2.
Why is it 4 plus 2? Is that a jack of all trades thing?
I mean, I do.
Warden.
No, I am. I'm Thea. I'm a warden. I don't know if. So that's probably from Jack of all trades, but. I mean, I guess you can minus it because I don't know if that's really.
Okay, well, see if you can figure out what's doing that. So 17. Haru hears you and comes in your direction and perches himself above you.
It is Jack of all trades. Point. Go, Haru! Up there, north!
He flies off and heads off to the north.
Okay.
What's everyone else doing?
So I don't see where he went, or where they went. I am not being able to see where they went from the ground. Now I'm gonna logic, try to use Vidar's big brain, and I'm gonna climb the nearest tallest building.
Oh, don't do it, bro.
Acrobatics or athletics?
I'm gonna go into a fury.
Seeing as I didn't move far away trying to go up a building, do I either hear
18.
Thea or see the bird moving around?
Do you see Haru?
No.
Or hear Thea, one of the two?
Give me a perception check. Vidar, you scale up the building slowly, but you are able to get up to the top of the warehouse where he was. You look about and you see sort of like a loose white marking of where he stood. Other than that, you don't see anything else immediately.
Can I see any signs of which direction he went?
Dalphos, you don't hear her. Give me a perception check.
Could I argue survival? Because I'm looking for like loose shingles, scrapes.
Yes.
15.
15. You see some of the loose shingles that he darted off towards the north, but the trail immediately ends off of the building.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the edge of the building where the trail ends.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look down and see what I see.
You see an alleyway.
I'm following the
did I
bird.
run through this alleyway?
Yes.
Oh no!
Bolly, what are you doing?
While I'm trying to pursue this guy, I'm gonna ask people, kind of like any like potential witnesses, be like, "Do you see which way he went?"
Give me an investigation check.
Because I'm a detective. Not really. God
Oh, no.
damn!
Oh no!
10, you grab like the first two people and they're in just sort of like shock and commotion. They don't even understand you as they just keep moving out of the direction. You get to about the fourth person, and at this point you're just sort of moving down the roadway trying to get people as everyone scatters. And one person says, I think I saw somebody running off in that direction, and they actually point down the west, down more into town.
I'm gonna look at him and go, "Thank you," and I'm gonna take off in that direction.
Okay, Vidar.
And then,
I'm gonna. Is there a building on the other side of this alley?
Yeah, there are two buildings right next to each other.
I'm gonna try to leap to that roof.
Okay, give me athletics or acrobatics.
Technically, I guess technically my fury would fade.
Mm-hmm.
So, Yeah, still 18.
Yeah, you jump across easy enough to the next roof.
I'm following the bird.
They just following the bird.
Do I still see any sort of sign of trail that he was on this roof?
Investigation. Or on, yeah. Or, yeah, you're looking for signs.
I'm looking for a trail, yeah.
Okay, trail, yeah, go ahead, survival then, sorry.
It doesn't matter. Natural 1 would bite me anyway.
Oh,
Natural one,
man.
you
We are
can't
sucking.
steam as you come out of your fury and you're like your adrenaline spiked and went back down and you're just trying to get a grasp of things and you're still coming out of tunnel vision. There's really no way for you to figure out like what you're looking at and try and gauge anything at this immediate point. Thea, Haru has darted off towards the north and then went east back towards the back of Lake Town.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to, I know he's got faster flying speed than me, but I'm just trying to keep up with him and trying to see if, as I follow him, I'm gonna see shady people, or the archer, or an archer.
Perception check.
Okay.
Bells are now ringing throughout town.
Oh my lord! That's a 2!
Doing great, guys.
You don't see anybody in the crowd as the bells begin to ring. That seems shady to you. From where you were when the assassin fired, they were too far away for you to get any sort of decent look at them. So you can't really match face or appearance.
All right.
So
Well,
you're going purely on instinct.
then I'm going to keep chasing after Haru until he either finds somebody or gives up.
Okay.
Can I
Everyone else.
rumor of Earth? Can I rumor of Earth?
There's a rumor that the king was shot.
But I'm hunting a quarry, so that's a
Isn't
DC
Rumor of
50.
Earth like a ritual thing? Like you sit down for 5 minutes and like...
No, it just says you push your ear against the turf, you can decipher the sounds of the earth. When the enemy treads upon it or echo the distant... Between each long rest, you may make a DC 15 wisdom. On success, the lore master must give you a useful piece of information about a quarry you are hunting or a place you are seeking.
Fun fact, you are not on Earth. You are on,
That's right. Well,
you're on a floating city.
right, so it wouldn't be useful. Rumor of wood.
Getting technical.
Murmur of wood.
Yeah, I see the point. Yeah.
So as everyone is fanning out, Vali heads into town following the tip that one person is. Vidar is trying to figure out a trail that he could follow. Thea, you are following Haru, who heads east and then sort of backtracks a bit and circles and then heads back north again. He seems to be a little confused. Essentially, something is either throwing off his ability to track or something. After a few minutes, he does come to like the edge of of town in the way back, and he lands on like one of the railings at the back of Lake Town.
I'm gonna run to him.
All right, you run up to him, and he just looks at you as you come up, and then he looks down over across the lake.
I look over, is there like a boat? Is there water rippling? Like activity just happened, or?
You look down,
Yeah.
and you see a body floating motionless. And that's where we're gonna take a break.
Wah!
Sometimes I want Lindsay just to narrate my life or something. Something happens.
And then this happened to Kevin, and oh my god!
Please don't let your roles represent my life.
Hail, adventurer. Are you a dungeon master with a desire to transport your players to fantastical settings? Perhaps they are deep in the dungeon of a mad lich.
Fools, you have intervened for the last time. Let's see you survive my fireball.
Or perhaps the party has just come across bandits, and the Goliath monk releases a flurry of blows and a stunning strike to gain control of the conflict. Nice rolls on the attack. Or maybe the party is taking a breather after another difficult quest. If this sounds like something you want at your next TTRPG session, then head over to battlebards.com. By subscribing to BattleBards Prime, you get the ability to immerse your players in your campaign. You'll get complete streaming access to the libraries of both BattleBards and Platemail games. And whether your game is in person or virtual, you won't be limited, as you will have access to a caster and a mixer to be able to broadcast the tracks to all of your players. And of course, if you want to download and keep any tracks, then you get 20% off all in-store purchases. So what are you waiting for, adventurer? A quest posting at the local guild hall? Get over to battlebards.com and subscribe today, and use the coupon code ADVENTURE at checkout. Stay proficient, adventurers. Hail, adventurer! Are you a dungeon master with a desire to transport your players to fantastical settings? Perhaps they are deep in the dungeon of a mad lich.
Fools, you've intervened for the last time. Let's see you survive my fireball.
Or perhaps the party has just come across bandits, and the Goliath monk releases a flurry of blows and a stunning strike to gain control of the conflict. Nice rolls on the attack. Or maybe the party is taking a breather after another difficult quest. If this sounds like something you want at your next TTRPG session, then head over to battlebards.com. By subscribing to BattleBards Prime, you get the ability to immerse your players in your campaign. You'll get complete streaming access. And we're back, and everyone's in a panic. Cool. So let's get right back into it. As bells are ringing out throughout town, there's still a commotion in this district. You followed Haru after several minutes of trying to track down the assailant that fired arrows upon King Bard, an attempted assassination. And you have found a body in the lake, face down, floating, motionless.
I'm gonna do two things.
Ooh.
I'm gonna pat Haru and do whatever. I'm sure Nayla taught her like a little signal or something, or a specific whistle or whatnot. But Thea's gonna do that to basically tell Haru to go find Nayla and bring her here.
Okay.
And then after that, she's just gonna shout for guards until somebody shows up.
Okay. So Haru takes flight and heads back essentially in the direction that he came from. And you just yell out for guards, guards! It takes a bit throughout the commotion, and a couple of Lake Town guards do eventually find you.
Okay. There's a body right down here.
Oh. Somebody get a boat. Go get a boat. We'll bring it down. We'll bring a pole, fish him out. Go! The two of them trek off to get a nearby rowboat for them to be able to retrieve it. At this point in time, not to narratively railroad, but those of you that are still searching, as this much time has passed, you've come to the conclusion that you are lost whatever trail that you are trying to pick up or follow. The commotion is still happening, but in your efforts to try and track anything, you've come to a dead end.
Yeah, knowing, I pretty much figured I came to a dead end with my last roll and not being able to find anything.
I don't think I got to a dead end yet.
I will return to King Bard. I left King Bard and just keep an eye out to make sure no one else tries to come and finish the job.
So as you come back that direction, most of the crowd has been dispersed. You do not see the king or the queen. You see basically a wall of royal archers that are just surrounding that spot.
I probably could take them all in a fight, but I'm not going to try.
Why? No. No.
Vidar keeps a respectful distance and just keeps an eye out for anybody.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
And a natural 20. 17, not bad.
17. Like I said, most of the crowd is dispersed. You're just keeping a watchful eye out. So if anything meets that 17, we will be sure to inform you.
Big bird.
Yeah. Eventually Haru comes back and lands on one of the roofs nearby. Across the way is Nayla and Seowin, who have their weapons out and are taking a look around, but they are not actively taking part in the defense where the royal archers are. Haru hops down and squawks at Nayla. Nayla whispers something and nods, and Haru flies back up onto the rooftop. After a while, Thea, the boat does come over and they fish the body out and roll him into the boat, and they make their way back towards the docks where it all happened. And they inform you as such, saying, we're gonna head back over there, so meet us there.
Okay.
Eventually, the archers feel like they've secured the area well enough at this point that they sort of break their ranks just a little bit. They don't completely be like, okay, job's done. They loosen up a bit, but they're still looking about as a herbalist comes through and makes their way into the center of the archers to tend to any wounds that might be there. Still, from everyone that is here at this perspective, does not have a clear sight on what is going on behind the archers.
Haru's not gonna lead them back.
What?
Haru's not gonna try to lead them back to me, or
Who?
Haru,
who?
Nayla.
Were you staying or were you coming back?
No, I tried to tell Haru to go get Nayla and have her come to me.
I misunderstood, so
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Nope, that's fine. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I said something that, like, didn't come out the way my brain was thinking.
I misunderstood. Basically, what would have happened is they would have showed up and be like, yep, that's a body. All right, they got it.
All right,
So,
that's fine. That's fine.
sorry.
It's not important then.
But you're back at the dock where they all are. So if you want to speak to her, she's there. So you went back where they are.
Oh.
They just didn't come
well,
to you.
Now I misunderstood you. Okay, we're fine. This is fine.
Everything is fine.
It's just chaos, and I feel like they achieved that because no one's understanding anything. So.
Right.
Panicking a lot.
Okay, so I'll come up and I'll find Nayla. Vidar's there since he said he was there. Are Volley and Salfos there too?
If they returned, yes, they are there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming I didn't find anything on my search. I know you said a dead end, but
I don't think I really left the square, so I didn't really make it far.
Great. So
Volley, what are you saying, Volley?
Oh, I said so. I came across a dead end also.
yeah.
Meh. Fine, so I'll rush back and kind of
For a second, I thought Volley was on it.
So did I. That's where I was like, cool. Yeah, so I'll assume I lost the trail and just go, fuck, and I'll run back to assist any way I can with the Royals.
Okay. So after clarifying that, I'll come back. I came from the northeast.
Yeah.
Okay. They
Yeah.
found a body. Haru led me to a body in the lake in the northeast. I called the guards. They're taking care of it. Might lead us to something and further indication of what happened and who's doing this.
Well, I can guess who's doing this.
Guess? Who's your guess?
I mean, it has to be the Fangs, right? We were just talking about how they've become more of an issue again in the area. I don't think it was an orc on that roof.
Oh, no. For some reason, I was expecting you to say Mokdred, but the Fangs is a more logical estimate.
Mokdred's here?
Where? Trigger word.
While
It's possible.
While you're discussing this, like sort of as like a group, all the archers stand and move slowly onto the boat. In the center, you can assume either somebody is being carried or helped into the boat. They're just being very careful to not expose any line of sight until they get everyone onto the boat and out of sight. As that is happening, the rowboat is also showing up with the body.
Okay. Are they going to bring the body like to us for investigation then, or like are they investigating on their own?
They plop it on the dock.
Oh, fun. Well, I would like to take a look at the clothing to see if I can recognize any sort of I don't know, like location in Middle Earth of where this person hails from, maybe?
If I had to
Or
throw a dart
insignias?
at the map,
Like red and green, like
So
Rohan, or
you approach down the stairs towards the docks. Is anybody going with her?
Yeah, I'll stick with
Yeah,
her. I don't have a better lead.
I guess we all go.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
I'm gonna stay behind and try and talk and figure out maybe if the king has any idea, or maybe any of the archers have any idea of who shot at him.
Well, the archer and the king and his wife are on the boat, and they're being very careful about who's talking.
Well, then I guess I'll join him at the dock.
I mean, you can try and talk your way onto the boat, but I just wanted to be clear that they're not right there where you are.
You know what? What the hell? I'll try and talk my way onto the boat.
Okay. We'll handle that first. All of you head down the same route first to get down into the docks, and then there's a gangplank onto the boat. And Volley sort of peels off and heads that direction. 4 archers come back across the boat to man up some sort of guard post on the other side onto the docks. 2 of which come over towards the body also to investigate. 2 by the gangplank as Volley approaches. Alt, we're not having visitors here today.
Forgive me, but this is not a visit. I was in the square where the archer took a shot at the king, and I was just seeing if I can get any more information.
We have none at this time.
No idea? No enemies he may have made?
Give me a persuasion check.
With my 0 charisma. God damn it.
oh my goodness.
Yep, I'm about
In
as
fact,
persuasive.
You know,
about
I think
persuasive
you're
as a
pretty
rock.
suspicious, so we're gonna have to arrest you just to be sure.
You know, you have a bow on your back. You might be the enemy.
This ends up in like a standoff, 3-way standoff with bows going, no, you, you.
You also have a bow. You may be the enemy. He's right.
Oh god,
I'm
I
a
might
monster.
be the enemy. I can't be trusted. Anyway, he's a king. Of course he has enemies.
Poor Volley, all he does is try.
Damn, Lindsay.
he tried to sneak.
All I do
he
is
tries
give.
to talk.
Volley is just a representation of my life. All I do is try. I figured a king has to make enemies of some sort, but ones to take a shot at him like that?
Well, in my line of work, most enemies shoot at you.
In a public place.
This guy's a brick wall.
Dealing with a 2.
I know, but still. He's just entertaining.
Listen, I appreciate your concern. We will devolve information when we have some. Currently, we are waiting to see the current situation from the result of the attack.
Well, as little as it may mean, I'm the captain of the Sun's Dead God. If you need any form of assistance, I'm also a pretty good hunter. If you need any form of help, please don't hesitate to call on me. I have much respect for the king.
Duly noted.
I was gonna give like a nod of respect and turn and walk off.
Yeah, they stand at attention with their longbows gripped. The rest of you, as Volley veered off to do that, you make your way over to the body. That
Ooh,
was...
ooh, wait, hold on. Sorry. sorry. Can I ask him, like, before I go, kind of like, ooh, by the way, do you have the arrow that was shot at him?
We have all 3, yes.
Could I see one of them?
Persuasion check.
Come on. Hey!
19.
There we go. A natural 19.
With my 0 charisma.
I I will see what I can do. And he heads off back onto the boat, leaving the one guard there.
I'll wait there if we want to do any.
See, you persuaded him. Now he's got to persuade other people. Hey guys, this guy on the docks wants the arrow. Can I give him arrow? You sound pretty convincing.
It's not the keep. I just want to look at it.
So, yeah, as he peels off to do that, you guys walk over to the waterlogged body as two other royal archers arrive at the same time. Go ahead and give me a traditions check. All three of you.
Am I included in that three?
Yes,
Okay.
because you went to go over to the body with Thea.
Oh, so me too?
Ah, yes!
Sorry, I am.
People checking the body!
Oh!
I got a natural 20.
Natural
I got
20,
less
I know.
than Thea.
Southos,
You're muted.
17. Okay.
I say my roll 20 was bugging out.
All three of you, for the most part, recognize the type of clothing he wears. Furs, dark leathers. He's a quiver on his one hip that is empty. The cloak he wears shows more or less hunting tradition. These are the clothes of a woodman.
Is it Mordred?
I'm
He's
gonna
not a
call. I'm gonna call for Naila
woodman. Okay.
and just point out the clothing to her, and
Naila,
ask her if she happens to recognize the face or body or like tribe.
Tribe. Naila and
Whatever it
Sarwin
is.
are on the boardwalk above the docks, probably about 5 feet above. They're leaning over the railing and they acknowledge it. And they're looking. They sort of look towards one another. And Naila makes her way down to get a closer look. Oh, that's definitely a woodman.
What is it?
She's looking through the body, looking at the quiver stitching. The bow, though broken, the riser has snapped. In case I didn't mention that, because I know I didn't. She's looking at the carving, craftsmanship of it. Definitely a hunter of some esteem. He's been worn against time and nature. I don't recognize the face. But this is definitely... No. No.
Definitely what?
Is she about to start cussing up a storm?
No, because she does not recognize him.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
She does not recognize him, but that doesn't mean she doesn't recognize things on him. Or at least things from stories. If these markings are correct, then this is a woodman that hails from a certain area of the map that I need to get over so I don't mix up names. From Woodman Town. And a hunter with this sort of leatherwork and equipment. I think this is Hunland.
Hunland?
Hunland. Wait,
Hunold.
isn't
Hunold, sorry. Hunold.
Hunald? Is that the player asking? Because is that the person Nayla, Vidar, and Mathan ran into on their journey through the road with what's the dwarf's name? No, sorry, they ran into like a small encampment of like this exiled guy or whatever on their way to Bjorn or something. Oh, what was his name?
No, you guys are going to the mill fort with Beaufrey at that time.
Yeah.
There was.
I know who you're talking about. And before I put my foot in my mouth, I'm pretty sure that's not him, but I am going to double check.
Okay.
No,
Garibald.
That's not him.
Garibald
is not him.
Okay, just making sure. I found his name.
Good
No.
job.
Auditing. Okay,
Nope.
never mind. Do you know him? No, you don't, because you don't recognize him. Have you heard of him? Like,
I have. He was a hunter who went missing a few years ago. After the rumor of finding gold in one of the burrows in Southern Mirkwood.
Oh, I know that story.
oh, yeah. Yep. And that doesn't make sense. He went looking for gold. Well, I guess it's kind of close here.
It's nowhere near close.
No, they went looking for gold south.
In Southern Mirkwood.
Yeah. So how would he end up here? And for what reason to try to assassinate somebody?
That is a very interesting question. And she sort of looks down at the dead body. And one, I'm afraid we will not get answers for. At least not from him. Volley, at this point, the other archer returns, and in one of his hands, he hands you a black arrow.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look at the arrow. Try and investigate, see like potentially where it came from, if there's any like markings on it that can give me a hint of where it's from or who its archer is.
Give me a shadow lore check.
I'm proficient.
18. You look it over, and the shaft itself is carved from a very dark wood that has inlines of iron. The arrowhead itself is jagged. It's not too well refined, but it is jagged, almost like a hunting tip that you would find on modern arrowheads, which are really mean. Really mean looking. The fletchings come from what you can tell is like a black crow or a raven of some sort. Oh, I'm sorry. What are you gonna fletch your arrows with? A not bird?
Raven is my trigger word.
A not bird? There's a couple of things with it. This is definitely something that is not common in these lands. And this is also definitely not something that was probably forged in anyone's home blacksmithing. Not in Dale, not in Laketown, not among the woodmen. This is something that bears its roots in Angmar.
Okay, so that kind of gives me an idea. Can I relay that information to them if they don't already know it?
You certainly can.
Are you showing the arrow?
He's separated from you guys right now.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so I'm still talking to the archers and whatnot, so as I'm kind of like scanning the arrow in front of them, I'll let them know kind of like the little like details like hunter's tip, fletchings of a raven, black markings. This is an arrow from Angmar.
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 That's half a world away.
Well, they must have traveled half a world to get here. Has a king done anything in Angmar?
No. Not to my knowledge. It's only been king a handful of years, and before that, he was a meager fisherman.
Well, whoever took a shot at the king wanted him to suffer definitely before he died. Are the rest of the arrows like this one?
All three, yes.
As I inspect the arrow, I'm just kind of like still relay the information that going through my head, or that you told me, relaying it to them in pieces. I'm gonna hand the arrow back to the archer.
Well, it's definitely insightful. Unfortunately, he looks over at the body. I don't think we'll figure out who's behind this.
Hope I do. Protect the people.
Well, for right now, we have to keep things in order. Should be a few minutes before the herbalist gives us any indication on what has happened.
As it should be. But keep up the good work, lads.
And you as well.
And I'll pass the arrow back to him and kind of do like a bow of respect to the archers and walk back to my group.
Did you find anything, Volley?
The arrows themselves are from Magmar.
What do you mean?
The arrows, the long pointy sticks, they're
I
from
know
the
what
Dark Land.
arrows are. I shoot them myself. I am asking, what do you mean they're from Angmar? What can you describe what you saw?
Well, the tip itself was jagged and pointed, meaning that he definitely wanted a human to suffer. That's something only reserved for bigger animals, or something harder to take down. He wanted the king to suffer. The arrow itself was black as night, with black fletchings, seeming like it came from a raven on it.
Does he seem to be describing the Morgul arrows that we ran into in the past? Better yet, I'll take it out. Because I still have one.
She's the murderer!
No!
Tackle her!
Poor timing to bring that out.
Fine, I'll just bring it up. Fine. Let me ask that first before.
Alright.
Hide, Thea, hide.
Oh, you mean this six archers? Hold it, put it down.
Now
Put it down
I'm the
on
pin
the ground.
cushion.
Yeah, it sounds pretty identical. You don't have deep roots in this knowledge, but it almost just sounds like a run-of-the-mill Angmar arrow. Like, this was probably standard issue. This is what they make. This is whatever dark magic or however their process is for making their arrows. It's that being said, they're not exactly common in this current world.
So it doesn't seem to be a Morgul arrow, but it seems...
The same concept.
Okay, but not exactly that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I said they're identical. They're basically the same thing.
Oh. Okay, so they're the same.
Yeah.
Vidar, I think we ran into these before.
So, how does a woodman hunter, from Woodman Town chase Legend of Gold in the southern part of Mirkwood end up with arrows from Angmar to assassinate King Bird?
That is quite the puzzle we have here.
I mean, it's Southern Mirkwood and then it's Angmar. Could they have just gone crazy? Driven mad with Shadow?
Well, we can speculate all day, but we need to come up with a plan to get to the root of this.
Nayla, do you know of the others who ventured forth, and maybe any description you may have of who the others of these woodmen look like? Maybe we can create some wanted posters, be out on the hunt for them, or...
I do not. I'm sorry. They're unfamiliar to me. I only know them by story, and
Or...
it was only been Hunold was the most renowned.
You know what I think we need to do?
They could be on the way back to Woodman Town now, too. Woodman Hall.
I think we should, especially because Saruman is in the area studying Southern Mirkwood, we should look for this gold and see where the trail leads us.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that sounds logical. I'll be honest.
I mean, what's the worst that's gonna do? Drive us mad and make us assassinate world leaders?
Yes. Angmar sounded logical at the time, and we all know how that went.
It went well. No one died. We got what we were looking for. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I don't... Maybe before we go to Southern Mirkwood, we can at least seek counsel from the wizards, since we're going to meet them anyway.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
All right. I can agree to that much.
At least retrace the steps. If we can find where he's been in this absence over the past few years, we can hopefully piece something together. It's the last thing we
And hopefully stop anyone else from following in his footsteps.
Oh, that's what I'm wondering now, too. If... I don't know any sort of connection right now with why they would want to assassinate King Bard, but could other leaders be in danger?
Possibility.
I mean, they were all here, so
Well,
be a
but
good chance to take them out all at once.
Ingomar is at... Well, there's Ingomar still at Woodman Hall, or Woodman Town? What the hell? Woodman Town.
It's a good tactic, right? You get most of the leaders here, and some have envoys that are representatives, so they have alibi of they weren't there, but it could be their people, and it's perfect scapegoats to cause distrust amongst the allied nations.
The last thing we need right now is unwanted attention. If they think a woodman did this, it was in his right mind. Things are going to be a lot more tense between here and there, between here and Mountain Hall.
After all the progress, too.
Well, don't count yourselves out yet. We have a job to do. Let's saddle up. Get to Roscobel. Talk with Saruman.
I agree. I think
At this point, the herbalist and a few guards come out of the boat. Nayla hails them. What news? The herbalist looks over and comes closer, not wanting to shout, is wringing their hands, wiping some blood off of them. The queen is dead. King Bard will recover. His injuries were minor.
it's a
Well,
travesty.
I say we have a plan. I say we dispose of the body as quickly as possible, or bring it with us to avoid certain parties from conducting their own investigation.
The royal guard standing right there. You will not take this body.
Oh, the royal guard standing right there.
I said they came across with them.
No, we have to leave it. It's the best thing to do out of good graces at this rate, also. And it's the least suspicious action right now. Prove that we are not trying to hide something from this body or anything connected with it.
Well, we need to hit the road.
I will look at Nayla. What was it about tasks we were talking about before? That life likes to give.
Yes, speaking of tasks, she turns to Saywin. Saywin, I urge you to stay here and keep relations open to try and calm any waters that might get stirred from this, and there should be. I'll make for Roskabel and Windman Town. I'll inform Ingemer of what has happened and attempt to find some answers of our own. If need be, I will return. Yeah, that's fair. And with that, the commotion dying down, but the news so far suppressed. There's a dead woodman on the docks, and there is a dead queen of Dale. And you have one clue that leads towards Angmar. The rest of you head towards the main gate along with Nayla, gather your things, and make for Roskabel. And that is where we're going to end tonight.